Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Total Maintenance YouTube channel. And look what I have for you today. Two Highlanders. Two Toyota Highlanders. You will say identical, but how far from truth that will be. These are 2005 and 2006. So almost born in the same time, but one of them is a base and it's the white one. This is the base model, and the other one is a limited. It's this one, 2006. I know this one, that was a planned service. The person came from far away. I will be doing valve cover gaskets on this baby. The 2005, the white one, I met first time yesterday. The owners serviced Prius, and they said, can we bring also this one? We are deciding which one we will sell, and we have some check engine light and more warning lights on the dashboard. So if you can please make sense of it and create estimates how much it will cost to be able to smoke it here in California and sell the vehicle. So maybe because this one is older and we have to show respect to the older ones, maybe we should look at this one first. Now there are many similarities, and one of them is that they are both of them two-wheel drive vehicles. So here you can see this is a base. This is a base model which you guys caught immediately in beginning, because we have those steel rims. We don't have the beautiful aluminum rims like in the other one. So enjoy the interior on 2005 Highlander. This will be slight comparison and sharing the info for you who might be interested about buying one of those. So basic, right off the bat, when I'm moving it there and back in the shop, this button doesn't want to go in. I made sure I'm stepping on the brake pedal enough, but it's finicky. Immediately in beginning when I got it here, before even scanning for the codes, I checked the cabin air filter. It was so bad I had to throw it away. It was just nasty, dirty, and so on. So let's go and check the mileage on this one. And listen to the startup. There will be a huge change in the engines. This one, we already know it's a base. It's not a V6, it's a 4-cylinder. Let's start it up. Both vehicles are cold, so there will be high idle. There was track off, VSC check engine light on, and all it went for P0420, which is inefficient catalytic converter. I drove the vehicle. Obviously with these problems there's no difference in the performance. The vehicle drives normally. It's kind of peppy, right? I'm not sure why we have that tire pressure light on. I didn't look at it. Today the owners, they called back, they said, you know what, skip the whole inspection. We want you to focus on dealing with those lights, check engine light. This will be for sale. So the mileage is 177,081. Somebody that previously, like a half year ago, has brand new brakes all around. What else did they do? What was their they did an oil change and brake fluid flush, I believe. Now this was a little bit finicky, as I said, right? You step on the brake first, but it will not let me move it. Do you see it? Only, oh, now it went all the way in. I can move the shifter, but there is definitely some intermittent Maybe it's just position of it, because right now it's working perfectly. But right, that will not go without. Yeah. So there is a little thing other than standard, right? We can see. But I want to show the personal items. I think they have a dogs, so you can see how big it is in the back. Simple because it's a base model. You can see the idle is coming down already, and that's basically the base model. Let's turn it off and let's go and see that engine. And this is finally view underneath the hood of the base model. So we have 2AZ FE. Since we are talking emissions and how the engine performs, and catalytic converter may be malfunctioning, which is right here. I had this off. Of course, I took a sample as a number 1 spark plug. It was flooded by the oil. It was sitting in the oil because the valve cover gasket tube seals are leaking. So that needs to be obviously fixed. It was correct. The Denso SK20R11, but it was older also. The gap was bigger. You can see here, this is not very clean. The coolant was very slightly lower. I remember what was on that bill. They replaced the water pump, which is there. And this, you will start seeing the differences between the 4-cylinder and the V6. So here we have one valve cover gasket instead of 2, which we'll be looking at over there. Let's wait for this truck move, because this is ridiculous. I can't freaking work here. These guys are servicing FedEx trucks. Makes a lot of noise. Yeah, okay. Back to the valve covers, right? Because it's 4-cylinder, it will be always easier and cheaper for the owner to service it. It's way faster than on V6, which we will be looking in just a second. The same with the water pump and so on. So this is what I want to bring up for your attention. If you have a choice, this vehicle will be always more efficient in the maintenance. It will cost you less. Of course, the MAF sensor is completely dirty. Of course, the throttle body is completely gunked up and dirty. So I'm discussing with the owners. I send them already estimate and what I recommend to be done. All these things obviously has to be in perfect order, and only after that you will blame the catalytic converter for intermittently not performing correctly. So here you can see how simple this two-wheel drive base model with a 4-cylinder engine is. I think that was enough for this one. Let's hop on the 2006 Limited, and right away you can see those beautiful, I mean, these rims are absolutely gorgeous. Watch the detail, Limited badge, and pay attention to this stripe. You don't see this stuff very often, don't you? Look at it. Alright, it's continuous all the way to the back. It's a really nice vehicle. As I said, this one is from far. A person came with maybe 6 hours to get serviced. I already did a little bit of work on this vehicle. Let's hop inside. Alright, so suddenly we are completely different level. Gorgeous wood imitation, extra speakers, JBL system. Right? We are talking different. Surprisingly, it's not leather, but it's cloth. Surprisingly, this person also puts the rear seats down, and it's huge. It's really, really big inside. Here we have the console. We will check, right? This has a leather knob. I wonder if the seats were replaced for some reason, because the leather continues. Nice dashboard, security system, mats. Let's go see how this will be on startup. It's also cold. It was sitting outside here. How many miles are there? 217,194. These are the lights. I apologize, it's super noisy because these trucks. Hopefully you can hear that engine at least a little bit. Completely different, right? The vehicle feels different. Let's see if this shifter also will give me trouble. I don't think so. Yeah, this goes totally normal immediately. So there is like a fine problem in the other one. You can see completely different radio, different level. It was with JBL. You have fully automatic electronic air conditioner and so on. So you have a sunroof, the other one doesn't have a sunroof. You see there are different controls. This is sagging, unfortunately. It's not staying all the way up. This is what happens when they age. So this is the cabin. The driving will be different, way more powerful, obviously. There's no question about that. However, the base model with 4-cylinder will have better gas mileage and the maintenance will cost you less. This is also two-wheel drive version, not a four-wheel drive vehicle. It was quiet here until I grabbed the camera. You know, that's how it goes, right? It was quiet. The moment I grabbed the camera and put these two cars next to each other, all this circus started. If I could make a choice, I will obviously film it later, but I can't. I have limited time with these two cars, and therefore I need to get moving. So, look at it. You have this V6 3.3 liter in very beautiful, perfect condition. Look at it. There's not even sludge here, which I will say it's famous for. Look, certain surfaces look brand new, even in the areas where you will not expect it. Do you see that Toyota timing belt sticker? Look with me, right? Completely different. The other engine, everything on it, it's just dirty, and these people don't care about it much. It's A to B for them. This one was definitely taken care. You can see Toyota belts. You see that green logo on it, obviously. Again, automatic transmission, engine oil, almost brand new battery. So everything is in really good shape. There's just the steel metal clamp missing on this one. This one stayed, right? This one fell off for some reason when we jump here. This one stayed and this one is missing, right? Isn't it interesting? So many similarities because the design of the vehicle. So large throttle body, and obviously the first valve cover is here. I kept telling you there are two, and the other one is right there. And that's the problem. Do you want to do the valve cover on that? Well, my friend, all of this I'm showing you right now will be removed, including this brace. Everything needs to go. It's not part of that stays, it's not overhanging, but I just need to start the valve covers and spark plugs, right? Because when I finally will remove all of it, I will do automatically spark plugs on this engine. That needs to start. I'm behind because I was today on the jury duty actually. That was very interesting, but they excused me. They understood I have a shop to run and cannot be missing maybe for 1 month sitting somewhere on the jury duty. So completely different engine bay, different engine, different maintenance, and different cost of the maintenance on this one. What do you say? Both of them are two-wheel drive, so the view underneath should be identical. You could say that. So here you can see it's simple. When you have a two-wheel drive vehicle only, you are missing here in the tunnel. Do you see it, how it's going to the front? You are missing the propeller shaft. You missing the complication of having the rear CV axle, and here the diff, the rear differential and its mounts and so on. So way completely different maintenance and service, different simple transmission without a front transfer case and so on. So this is all nice and empty for the maintenance purpose. Obviously then when you need four-wheel drive, you don't have it, right? In the snow, or if you go camping all the time, if that's what you like to do, then obviously you have to get a four-wheel drive vehicle. The CV axles, they seem to be fine, right? But again, on the other side, unfortunately, if you look here, well, there is the grease shooting, and you see already it's turned to our way. You can see that grease, it started coming out because these are original boots. I can see the clamps and the material. This is OEM. It lasted that entire time. However, it just got bad and it's spraying out the brake. So I hope you find this video interesting. Not only interesting, maybe also entertaining. Not only entertaining, maybe if you are considering buying this generation of Highlander, maybe it will help you to see the differences on them and make your decision, right? This limited, here we have this spoiler. Both of them has the nice built-in roof rack. That's fantastic. Both of them, I think this is add-on from the Kurt. You can see the tall 2-inch hitch. They use the same company, despite the fact they are different people. So that was add-on, that didn't come from Toyota. Here are the roofs. You can see it. So you can put your roof racks. There are crossbars anyway included with it. So if you are shopping for these babies, you have idea what will be the differences. Shall we look on every single wheel nut stud? This one is completely ripped off. I see the remainings of it inside. Shall we look if the other car has that happened too? So thank you very much for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumb up and stay tuned. I have way more coming your way soon. I will catch you later, my friend.